Today we are going to talk about the Elizabeth era civilization, the architecture of the building in Elizabeth era. First, you will notice that there was a prominent architecture for very symmetrical layouts. In other words, often if you look at the left side of a building, it frequently mirrors to the right side if you were looking at it directly from the front. We will frequently find chimney on both sides, gables that match, and the center entryway of the large homes. The gables were frequently curved and had lots of details on them. So the homes and houses in Elizabeth era, many of the homes built during the Elizabeth period feature a very long gallery. You will find the kitchen on one side and the living area on the right. Between them would typically be a long gallery featuring very nice artwork of some of the most famous artists of this time period. This was a common theme among wealthy people's homes. Also, among the homes that wealthy people built in this time era, you will find formal gardens. Generally, with the layout of the home there, will be space designated for these gardens. They will feature beautiful flowers during spring with sitting areas that will be considered high class even today.
Elizabeth managed to moderate and kill the intense religious passions of the time. These were in significant contrast to previous and succeeding eras of marked religious violence. Elizabeth said, "I have no desire to make windows into men's cells." Her desire to moderate the religious persecutions of previous Tudor regimes, the persecution of Catholics under Edward IV, and of Protestants under Mary I, appear to have had moderating effect on English society. Elizabeth instated the Protestant Bible and English Mass, yet for a number of years refrained from persecuting Catholics.
For technology, lacking of a dominant genius or formal structure for research, which is the following century had both Sir Isaac Newton and the Royal Society. The Elizabethan era nevertheless saw significant scientific progress. The astronomers Thomas Digges and Thomas Harriot made important contributions. William Gilbert published his seminal study of magnetism, the magnet, in 1600. Substantial advances were made in the fields of cartography and surveying. The eccentric but influential John Dee also merits mention.
Cultural in Elizabeth era. Sports. There were many different types of Elizabeth sports and entertainment. Animal sports included bear and bull baiting, dog fighting, and cockfighting. The rich enjoyed tennis, fencing, and jousting. Hunting was strictly limited to the upper class. They favored their packs of dogs and hounds trained to chase foxes, hares, and boars. The rich also enjoyed hunting small game and birds with hawks, known as falconry. Jousting. Jousting was an upscale, very expensive sport where warriors on horseback raced towards each other in full armor trying to use their lance to knock the other off his horse. It was a violent sport. King Henry II of France was killed in the tournament in 1559. As were many lesser men, King Henry was a champion. He finally retired from the list after a hard fall left him unconscious for hours.
That was a popular activity in all social classes. Cards appeared in Spain and Italy about 1317, but they probably came out from Egypt. They began to spread throughout Europe and came to England around 1460. By the time Elizabeth reached, gambling was a common sport. Cards were not played only by the upper class. Many lower class had access to playing cards. The cards suits thrown to change over time. The first Italian and Spanish dogs had the same suits: swords, batons, clubs, cups, and coins. The suits often changed from country to country.
Elizabethan England was not particularly successful in a military sense during the period, but it avoided major defeats and built up a powerful navy. On balance, it can be said that Elizabeth provided the country with a long period of general, if not total, peace and general increased prosperity due in large part to stealing from Spanish treasure ships, raiding settlements with low defenses, and selling African slaves.
That's all for today.
Thank you.
Why do you go among the people, your majesty? You will be killed.
Fear creates fear. I will not punish my people for it.
My queen.
Soon, the English true believers will rise again the bastard usurper Elizabeth, and my lady will be the queen.
Our king stepped my country.
Your country? Yo man, it's my country under your attack.
Hey, you will leave my presence. Go back to your red hole. You have to get an heir. If he has big eyes and as handsome as your lollipop,
You want my destiny. You want my destiny.
May I present my majesty, the fruits of Spain, patata.
Elizabeth is a war. Mary is our true queen.
Elizabeth is on attack, but the queen is unharmed. What? The stupid idiot used a water gun.